Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. We're here in London doing the nighttime devotion from the devotional Christ Triumphant. The title today, Position does not preclude the need for prayer. Nehemiah 1 verse 11. Let now thine ear be attentive to the prayer of thy servant, and to the prayer of thy servants who desire to fear thy name. And prosper, I pray thee, thy servant this day, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man. Nehemiah, the Hebrew exile, occupied a position of influence and honour in the Persian court. As cupbearer of the king, he was admitted to the royal presence, and by virtue of this intimacy and his own high abilities and tried fidelity, he became the monarch's counselor. He was a man of high principle, unbending integrity, and great sagacity. In that heathen land, surrounded by royal pomp and splendour, Nehemiah did not forget the God of his fathers or the people who had been entrusted with the holy oracles. The dignity of his position did not rob him of his piety or his love for his brethren. He was not ashamed to own his relationship to them and to the truth. He felt that he must honour the truth in all places. He did not make apology for holding a faith distinct from the faith of those in the Persian court. Days of peculiar trial and affliction had come to the chosen city. Messengers from Judah described to Nehemiah its condition. The second temple had been reared and portions of the city rebuilt, but its prosperity was impeded, the temple service disturbed, and the people kept in constant alarm by the fact that its walls were still in ruins and its gates burned with fire. The capital of Judah was fast becoming a desolate place. The few inhabitants remaining were deeply embittered by the taunts of their idolatrous assailants. Where is your God? The soul of the Hebrew patriot was overwhelmed by these evil tidings. So great was his sorrow that he could not eat or drink. He wept and mourned certain days and fasted. But when the first outburst of his grief was over, he turned in his affliction to the sure helper. The record says that he prayed before the God of heaven. He unburdened his heart to God. He knew that the affliction that had come upon Israel was the result of her transgression. And with deep humiliation he came before God to ask for pardon and a renewal of the divine favour. Faithfully, he makes confession of his sins and the sins of the people. Taking hold by faith of the divine promise, Nehemiah lays down at the footstool of heavenly mercy his petition that God would maintain the cause of his penitent people, restore their strength, and build up their waste places. The title again, Position does not preclude the need for prayer. And it focuses this initially on Nehemiah and how he was an exile. He managed to get a position in the court as the cupbearer for the king. But then, because of his virtue and his abilities and his fidelity, he actually became one of the king's counselors because he had high principle. And the point of the title position does not preclude the need for prayer. He had a high position. He was a counselor, like an advisor to the king. And yet he still would bend down on his knees and pray, just the same as Daniel used to. And it said Jerusalem was in a severe trouble. It had been desolated, decimated, and it needed to be rebuilt. And Nehemiah had a constant, kept getting contact from there saying what was happening, what was going on. And it says he wept and he mourned, fasted, and he went to God in prayer. And at the end, Nehemiah lays down at the footstool of heaven, mercy in his petition that God would maintain the cause of his penitent people, so that God would not forget his people, even though they forgot him. Nehemiah was just the same as Daniel did again. Nehemiah petitioned for the people of Israel to restore their strength and to build up their waste places. Now, we haven't got a Jerusalem or Judea to worry about now. But the temple we do need to worry about is the temple within each of us. Each of us is a living temple of the Spirit of God. And we need our strength restored. And we need our fortresses rebuilt. The fortress of our mind and our heart. So we can have all our senses guarded. So all this rubbish in the world, the music and the TV and all the stuff we see, a lot of it, it's all false, it's all fake. And we need to have the wisdom and discernment to know what is true and what is not. Remember, Matthew 24 says you'll see there'll be wars and rumours of wars. Everything you see on TV, remember it's called television. Tell lies vision. Everything you see on TV, on the news, most of it's fake, it's false. All these wars we hear about are mostly fake. I was hearing on the news, I think it was yesterday or today, not on TV, but on the radio, that now this war is going on with Iran, etc., etc. Oh, the price of oil is going to rise, and this will raise the prices of all the foods and everything again. What rubbish. They find any excuse to raise the prices of everything. Petrol, oil, gas, food. It doesn't really make sense, but they'll use it. The last time was Russia-Ukraine, and everything went up, and now they're doing it again. It's all lies. So what should we do? Take it to the foot of the cross, just as Nehemiah did, just as Daniel did, Moses did, and we should.